What's Tesla up to now? They made big waves with the rollout of Powerwall 3, and the market is eagerly anticipating the rollout of bidirectional EV charging. Where does Tesla go from here? In today's video, I'm going to be answering that question and giving you my thoughts on what you can expect from Tesla in the near future. The smarter way to go solar. Alright, now in today's video we're going to be talking about where does Tesla go from here, or what is Tesla going to do next. Now of course, the big news of 2024 was the rollout of the new Tesla Powerwall 3 battery. And the Powerwall 3 battery and the Tesla solar system that is wrapped around it really does represent a generational shift in the solar system architecture and installation. So what's so innovative about Powerwall 3? Well, first of course is the integrated battery and inverter design. Now of course, every solar power system that's hooked up to your home's electrical system or that's interactive with the electric grid has to have an inverter. And what the inverter does is very simply, it converts the direct current DC power that natively comes off of solar panels and solar cells into high voltage alternating current power to match the electric grid. So the electricity can be fed into your home's circuit breaker panel, and if need be, electricity can be exported or sold back to the power company for credits on your electric bill. Now, with previous system architectures, you would have separate inverters or microinverters for the solar panels, and then the battery system in many cases had its own internal inverter. So if you look at the previous generation Tesla Powerwall 2, that Powerwall 2 inside had not only battery storage, but it had a DC to AC inverter. But with the new Powerwall 3, they've essentially exposed the battery's inverter to be usable by the solar panels as well. So it reduces the amount of equipment you need to build a solar and storage system. It also simplifies the installation, because the installer no longer has to make a manual connection between the battery storage system and the solar system, or between the battery storage system and the solar inverter system. Now, those two systems are factory integrated into a single appliance. Now, Tesla also innovated with its meter collar adapter, or what they call the Tesla backup switch. Now, one of the big problems with installing solar and battery storage systems was having to manage the risk of what the current status of the home's wiring, or what how the home's circuits were laid out. And so I know when I was installing solar, one of the things that would really bog us down is having to manage circuits or move around circuits within the house to facilitate a battery backup. But with the new Tesla backup switch, pretty much all of the connection can be done outside of the house at the electric meter base itself, meaning you no longer have to do surgery or take on the risk of modifying the home's internal wiring to do a whole house backup. And of course, since the Powerwall 3 has such high power ratings, in many cases a single Tesla Powerwall 3 battery will be sufficient for whole house backup. Now, all of this boils down to faster, more efficient, more profitable installations of solar and storage. And I think Tesla really did something well here in terms of listening to feedback from the installers, figuring out where the installers were losing time and losing money and causing frustration, and streamlining that process with the new Powerwall 3. So I expect that you'll see other competitors release similar architected products with an integrated battery storage inverter, and the inverter being able to do the battery inverter and the solar inverter in a single unit. Now, of course, the next thing we're expecting to see in the very near future is bidirectional EV charging. Now, when we talk about bidirectional EV charging, what we mean is when the electric vehicle is plugged into the home's electric system, not only can you charge the vehicle battery, whether you're charging from solar panels that are producing on your roof, or if you're charging using utility power, but with a bidirectional EV charging, you can draw energy out of the vehicle battery for a number of different applications. Now, why would you want to draw energy out of your vehicle battery? Very simply, if you look at the cost for an electric vehicle versus the amount of storage capacity, the dollar per kilowatt hour storage on an electric vehicle is several times cheaper than what you pay for today's home batteries. So if for $30,000 you could get a home battery system that provides, let's say, 20 kilowatt hours of storage, but for that same $30,000 you could get an electric vehicle that gave you, let's say, 70 or 80 kilowatt hours of storage. For that reason, a lot of people want to be able to tap into that battery storage capacity and use it as part of the home's hybrid energy system. So what are the applications here? Well, the first and obvious one, of course, is emergency backup power. If utility power goes down and you have to fail over to running on solar and battery power only, You want to be able to use solar power during the daytime and then be able to draw off energy stored in the battery, or in this case, your electric vehicle's battery, to use that to keep power on inside the home during evening hours. And then the next day, the solar panels can take over and recharge the battery. And again, because these electric vehicles have high capacity batteries, and if you've already made the investment in the electric vehicle, a lot of times that's going to be more preferable than having to buy a separate, higher priced stationary home battery. Now, the other application though is grid export. And for those of you who are living in markets like California or Arizona, where you can have some pretty stark differences in terms of the electric rate based on the hour of the day that you're consuming the electricity, you may want to use the electric vehicle battery as an alternate power source. So if you have high demand during peak hours, you can just pull the energy from the vehicle as opposed to pulling it from the electric grid and then getting hit with those penalty rates or those higher rates. So I think you're going to see a situation where it makes sense to draw from the vehicle instead of pulling from the grid, or in some cases it may even make sense to draw from the vehicle and sell it back to the grid if you're on super peak rate hours where they're going to give you a high price credit for anything that you send them. By the way, if you own an electric vehicle and you're planning on tying it into your home solar power system, leave a comment down below. Let us know what vehicle you have and what type of solar system you're planning to connect it with. Now, the next thing I expect to see from Tesla soon is some form of intelligent load control. Now, for those of you who've been following the channel for a while, you know that one of the things I advise that helps with a successful whole home solar and battery storage implementation is some sort of intelligent load control. And when we talk about intelligent load control, it really provides three main benefits. Number one is being able to see where the energy is being consumed within your house so you can make smarter decisions in terms of lifestyle choices so that you can get the best bang for your buck of the energy that you're purchasing or the energy that you're generating with your solar power system. The other thing though is to extend your battery running time during a blackout. So again, if you're running in a grid down mode where you have solar and battery power only, you may not want to run non-essential high draw items during evening hours when you're having to pull all that energy off the battery. Think of things like electric clothes dryers or electric ovens or electric water heaters. You know, these things are nice to have, but you don't necessarily need them in an emergency situation. And then of course, the third application or the third benefit here is being able to avoid peak rate. So again, for those of you in places like California or Arizona, you might not want to allow your water heater to run during the hours of 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Since those are the peak hours, there's no reason that the water heater element has to fire during those hours. You can have that water tank heated up earlier in the day, make sure that the heating element never turns on during those peak rate hours where you're going to get charged the penalty rate, and then let it power back on, you know, after 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. whenever the peak rate hours are over. And all of that can be programmed into a smart electrical panel or an intelligent load control system, so you don't have to go there flipping circuit breakers. You basically just tell the load control system your schedule, and then it does the switching and the disconnecting for you. By the way, I've often said I expect to see Tesla to acquire, and I think Tesla should acquire Span Smart Panel, because it would then put them right at the heart of the home's electrical distribution. Right? Not only could you see where energy is flowing to each circuit in the house, you could intelligently control those circuits, and everything would work together seamlessly on a single platform. By the way, if you didn't see our previous video on Tesla Powerwall 3, what I would like to see, go back and watch the previous video. It came out about a year ago where I laid out some of the features and capabilities that I wanted Tesla to incorporate in their next generation battery. So folks, this has been a discussion of what we can expect next from Tesla. Now, as always, if you're getting good value from the videos you watch on Solar Surge, make sure you give us a thumbs up. And go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well if you haven't done so already. That way, as we have new videos like this coming out, it'll come up on your feed and you can stay up to date with us. Now, of course, if you're a homeowner, if you're in the process of looking at different solar and battery storage options for your home, if you need to get a price quote, or maybe you already have a price quote and you need to get a comparison quote, make sure that you're getting the best deal. As always, feel free to reach out to us on the link below here. You can set up a call with a solar expert, or just use the free online quote tool to see how much solar and battery storage costs in your area. Well, folks, that pretty much does it for today's video. I thank you for spending some more time on the Solar Surge channel. And as always, I'm Joe Ordia here, encouraging you to get prepared and be empowered. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. All right, I hope you're getting some great value from today's video content. Now, if you would like to have your business or product or technology featured on the Solar Surge channel, we can help you do that. Feel free to use the link below to set up a call with our media team so that we can discuss your marketing goals and how Solar Surge can help you get there. Solar Surge is the leading online community in the U.S. residential solar and energy storage space. And so if you would like to have your business or product or technology introduced to our audience, we can help you do that. Again, feel free to reach out to us on the link below to set up a call with our media team or email media@solarsurge.net.